A very good morning to all my dear students. In the last class, we started the new topic, immunology. Okay, and in the last class, we studied different two types of immunity. Okay, acquired immunity and innate immunity. Okay, innate immunity is otherwise called non-specific immunity, and acquired immunity is otherwise called specific immunity. Okay, and we studied about two types of acquired immunity and two types of immune responses. Okay, so in the last class we studied some 5-mark questions, 2-mark and 3-mark question answers. Okay, my dear students, today we are going to study about a new topic. The topic name is lymphoid organs. Okay, my dear students, listen the class very carefully. This is very important topic. Okay, many 1-mark questions, 2-mark questions and 3-mark questions also there, 5-mark questions also there. So listen very carefully. So today our topic is lymphoid organs. See, our immune system consists of many organs, many tissues and different types of cells. Okay, so all these organs are otherwise called lymphoid organs. Okay, so the organs which are involved in our immune system is called lymphoid organs, and inside these lymphoid organs only our lymphoid cells. Okay, our lymphoid cells are, particularly the lymphocytes, are produced, proliferated and maturation takes place. Okay, so the production, maturation and proliferation of the lymphocytes maximum takes place inside the organs. That organ's name is called lymphoid organs. And all these organs are structurally and functionally different from each other. Understand a few? Okay. Today we are going to study about some important lymphoid organs. Actually, the lymphoid organs are classified into two major categories. Okay, two major categories. Primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Okay, so the lymphoid organs are classified into primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Here, the primary lymphoid organs are otherwise called central lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs are otherwise called central lymphoid organs, and the secondary lymphoid organs are otherwise called peripheral lymphoid organs. Understand a few? So the primary lymphoid organs are otherwise called central lymphoid organs, and the secondary lymphoid organs are otherwise called peripheral lymphoid organs. Understand a few? So the lymphoid organs are classified into two major categories. Understand a few? Then let me say the examples for these primary lymphoid organs. Bursa of fabricus. This is one of the very important primary lymphoid organ present in the bat's body. Understand? So in the avian species, in the bat's body, a primary lymphoid organ is there. Name of this primary lymphoid organ is called bursa of fabricus. Okay, then thymus, bone marrow, these are the other primary lymphoid organs present in the body of the mammals. So bursa of fabricus, then thymus, bone marrow, these are the examples for the primary lymphoid organs. And the examples for the secondary lymphoid organs, there are different types of lymphoid organs and lymphoid tissues are present in our body. Okay, for example, the lymph node. Okay, Peyer's patch. Lymph node is one of the organ. Okay, lymph node is one of the organ of the secondary lymphoid organ. Then Peyer's patches, tonsils, spleen, malt, galt, balt. These are the example for the secondary lymphoid tissues. Okay, secondary lymphoid tissues. Okay, so lymph node and spleen, these two are the example for the secondary lymphoid organs. Then this Peyer's patches, malt, galt, balt, these are the example for the secondary lymphoid tissues. Hope you all understood. Okay, my dear students, now we are going to study about one important secondary lymphoid organ, a lymph node. Okay. Okay, so the first we are going to study about one important secondary lymphoid organ. Name of that organ is called a lymph node. Okay, see, actually this lymph node is a bean-shaped structure. It's a bean-shaped structure. Then this is the first organ which encounter the pathogenic microorganism which are entered inside the tissue space. Okay, so inside the tissue space is there. If any pathogenic microorganism or if any foreign particles enter inside the tissue space, this lymph node will be first killing or encountering the foreign particles or microorganisms. Understand you? Then say these lymphoid organs. Okay, so these lymphoid organs filter the foreign particles which are passing through the lymph, Understand? And these lymphoid organs are present inside the lymph vessels. So when a microorganism or a pathogenic microorganism passing through the lymph node which are present inside the lymphatic vessel is filtered and trapped. Finally, that microorganism is destroyed by the lymph node. So here lymph means it's a colorless, clear, transparent, watery solution. Okay, passing through the lymphatic vessels, passing through the lymph vessels. So when one particular microorganism, one particular bacteria is moving through this lymph, immediately the lymph node which are present inside the lymph vessels filter or trap that microorganism. Finally, that microorganism is destroyed. Understand that more than hundreds of lymph nodes are present in our body. Yeah, so a healthy person's body consists of more than 100 lymph nodes. Okay, so I hope you all understood all these points. That the lymph node is highly consist of. Okay, many lymphoid cells are present inside the lymph node. For example, the lymphocytes and macrophages. More amount of lymphocytes and macrophages are present inside the lymph node. Understand you? So listen, this is the structure of a single lymph node. Like that, more than hundreds of lymph nodes are present in our body. Actually, the lymph node consists of three important compartments. Divided into three regions. The outer region is called the cortex region, and the middle region is called the paracortex region, and the inner region, this region is called the medulla region. Understand? Okay, see, this cortex region consists of more amount of B cells, follicular dendritic cells, and more amount of macrophages also present in this cortex region. Then, in the next to this cortex region, paracortex region is there. So this paracortex region consists of more amount of one dendritic cells. Name of the dendritic cell is called interdigitating dendritic cells, and more amount of these cells are present in the middle region. That means the paracortex region. And the inner region is called medulla region. This region consists of more amount of mature lymphocyte and plasma cells. So I hope you all understood all these points. So the lymph node is divided into three major regions. Outer region is called the cortex. In middle region is called paracortex, and inner region is called medulla region. Understand? Okay, see, listen. See, this is a small hole-like structure present inside the lymph node. Okay, so when a lymph already I told you is a colorless water-like fluid. Okay, so when the lymph is passing through this small opening, when the lymph is entering inside the lymph node, already different types of cells are present inside the lymph node, isn't it? So the cells which are present inside the lymph node trap the microorganisms which are entering inside through the lymph. Okay, trap and destroy all the microorganisms which are entering inside the lymph node. So in the opposite side, pure lymph is coming outside. This pure lymph consists of more amount of plasma cells. Understand a few? So I hope you all understood this point. Okay, so as the lymph is slowly entering inside the lymph node, the cells which are present inside the lymph node destroy all the microorganisms. Understand you? Then sometimes we can see some swelling inside the lymph node. Because if a lymph is swelling, it indicates more amount of phagocyte cell is produced. More amount of lymphocytes are produced inside the lymph node. That means inside a microorganism or a foreign particle is entered. So when a foreign particle is entered inside the lymph node, the number of lymphocytes is increased to fight against the foreign particles. So that only the size of the lymph node is increased, or it is in swollen condition. Then the last point about this lymph node is the lymph nodes are highly present under the neck region, chin region, armpit, and also in the groin region. Okay, so these regions consist of more amount of lymph node. Understand, my dear students? So now we have completed one important secondary lymphoid organ, lymph node. Then now we are going to study about some lymphoid tissues. Okay, so the first lymphoid tissue is Peyer's patches. Okay, the first lymphoid tissue is called Peyer's patches. See, Peyer's patches means it's a oval-shaped tissue, very thick tissue present in the small intestine. Okay, so Peyer's patches is a lymphoid tissue. Okay, oval-shaped lymphoid tissue is a very thick lymphoid tissue present in the intestine region. And these Peyer's patches these tissues consist of more amount of macrophages, dendritic cells, B cells and T cells. So more amount of B cells, T cells, macrophages and dendritic cells are present in this what tissue? Okay, in this Peyer's patches tissue. That's a few. Then next one is tonsils. Tonsils. So this tonsils is a special type of tissue. Okay, so it's a special type of tissue. So a pair of tissues, very soft tissues. Okay, so Peyer's patches already I told you very thick tissue. Here this tonsil is a soft tissue. Okay, so a pair of soft tissues are present at the back of the throat, at the back of the pharynx region. Okay, so these tissue groups are called tonsils. These tissues are called tonsils. Understand a few? So these tonsils stop the entry of bacteria and virus through the mouth. Okay, already I told you this present or located at the back side of the throat. Understand a few? So now we have studied two important lymphoid tissues, Peyer's patches and tonsils. Understand? Then the next one is spleen. Spleen is a lymphoid organ, it's not tissue, it's a lymphoid organ. See, spleen is one of the very important secondary lymphoid organ present in the upper region of the abdominal cavity. That means near to or close to the diaphragm. Close to the diaphragm. Understand you? So the location of the spleen is upper region of the abdominal cavity and it is very close to the diaphragm muscles. This spleen consists of more amount of B cell and T cells. Understand you? Then next some tissues. Malt, Balt, gut. So these three are also lymphoid tissues. Here malt means mucosa associated lymphoid tissues. Balt means bronchus associated lymphoid tissue. Gut means gut associated lymphoid tissues. Okay. Here malt means mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. So some lymphoid tissues are present in the mucous lining or mucous membrane of our digestive system, respiratory system and also in the urinogenital system. So these lymphoid tissues are togetherly called this malt. These lymphoid tissues are togetherly called malt. Understand? And suppose a tissue is present, lymphoid tissue is present in the respiratory system. Here the full form already told you, bronchus associated lymphoid tissue. So bronchus is one of the important organ of our respiratory system. Okay, so if these tissues are present in the bronchus region or respiratory system, so that lymphoid tissues are called BAT. The next last one is GLT, gut associated lymphoid tissue. Gut means intestine. Okay. Suppose a lymphoid tissue is present in the gut region, it is called gut associated lymphoid tissue. Understand? So all these tissues consist of some lymphoid cells and these lymphoid cells encounter the microorganisms which are enter in that particular part. Or some lymphoid tissues prevent the entry of microorganisms inside the body. Understand a few? Understand? So now we have completed lymphoid organs. Okay, so the secondary lymphoid organ, two lymphoid organs, one is a lymph node and the second organ is spleen, and some lymphoid tissues also, secondary lymphoid tissues also. Okay, hope you are understood. Then now we are going to study about some examples for primary lymphoid organs. See, primary lymphoid organs are otherwise called central lymphoid organs, already told you. Okay, so the first primary lymphoid organ is thymus. Okay, first primary lymphoid organ is thymus. A very small question. Say thymus. Thymus is a flat organ. Okay, flat organ and bilobed organ. Bilobed organ means Okay, this type of organ, bilobe, two lobes are present. Okay, so it's a very flat bilobed organs. Okay, present at the back side of the sternum. Sternum means one large bone is present in this region. This bone is called sternum. So back side of the sternum. Okay, above the heart. So the location of the thymus is back side of the sternum, above the heart. Understand you? And I already told you it's a bilobed organ. Two lobes are present there. Inside the both lobes, many small lobules are present. Many small lobules are present. So all these lobules are separated by a connective tissue. Name of this connective tissue is called septa. So thymus is a two-lobed or bilobed organ, but inside the both lobes are again divided into many small lobules. And all the lobules are separated from each other by a connective tissue. It is called septa. It is called septa. Understand? If you understand, see. Then this thymus consists of two important regions. The outer region is called cortex and the inner region is called medulla. The cortex region consists of more amount of immature T lymphocytes. Okay, immature T lymphocytes are highly present in the cortex region of the thymus. At the same time, the inner region, the medulla region consists of more amount of mature T lymphocytes. Mature T lymphocytes. Then the thymus secreting one important hormone. Name of that hormone is called thymosin. Okay, thymus producing a hormone. Name of the hormone is called thymosin. This thymosin hormone only educate the T lymphocyte to get the immunocompetence. Okay, and this thymosin only help the T lymphocyte for their maturation. Understand a few then. The last points about this thymus is, this thymus is very active during the childhood stage and pre-adolescent stage. Okay, so before 12 or 13 years, the thymus is very active. After reaching the teen age, the thymus is slowly disappear and it is replaced by adipose tissue. So the thymus is very active during the childhood stage and the pre-adolescent stage. After reaching the adult stage or after reaching the teenage stage, it is slowly disappearing and it is replaced by adipose tissue. So now we have completed one important primary lymphoid organ. And the second primary lymphoid organ is bone marrow. Okay, second important lymphoid organ is bone marrow. See, listen. Bone marrow. Say, this bone marrow is found in the sponge region of the bones. So in the center region of the bone, some sponge-like structures are there. It is called bone marrow. So this bone marrow is present in the center region or the sponge region of the bones. Understand you? Then this bone marrow consists of a very important and specialized stem cells. Okay, name of that stem cells is called hematopoietic stem cells. Hematopoietic stem cells. And these hematopoietic stem cells have a different types of capacity. That means these hematopoietic stem cells can divide. Okay, can divide by cell division process. Okay, sometimes these stem cells remain as stem cell, but sometimes it can convert into blood cells. Blood cells means RBC, WBC platelets. Okay, so hematopoietic stem cell is a stem cell present inside the bone marrow. These hematopoietic stem cells sometimes can remain as a stem cell, but sometimes it can differentiate into blood cell. Understand, my dear students? Understand? So now we have completed two important primary lymphoid organ, thymus and bone marrow. Hope you understood. So in this class we have studied about the lymphoid organs. Once again repeat, the lymphoid organs are classified into two major categories: primary, otherwise called central lymphoid organs; secondary, otherwise called peripheral lymphoid organs. Understand a few? Then the lymph node, spleen, moat, gut, belt, then Peyer's patches, tonsils. These are the example for the secondary lymphoid organs, and the thymus, bone marrow are the example for the primary lymphoid organs. Understand, my students? So I hope you all understood today's class. Today itself try to complete the limb load structure, timer structure. These are very important for 5 mark question. Okay, so we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.